fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kira's show here, and now, whenever we last left off, we had Izuku Midoriya. He has been informed of the current situation on Earth. There is an evil man, or a villain, who has been wreaking havoc on the planet for the past year. And Inko and Asashi had to give Vados an earful after she proposed that Midoriya use this opponent to train. Now, Vados was able to convince Inko and Asashi, along with the fact that informing them that she would not let Izuku die. And in case anything does happen, she can immediately step in and intervene. Now, with that being said, she did at least let them know about this little reassurance. But she herself might not need to step in. Now, while Inko and everyone is making the trip to Earth, we will cut back almost 9 months ago. On the planet Sadala. They've just been able to restore flight records and at least get the number for the space pod that this evil Saiyan has taken. The day the Saiyan left the planet, multiple other space pods were deployed and others were destroyed. Their flight records, and at least certain things about them, could not be recovered. However, they have just run the numbers on 5 to 6 different pods. After discovering the black box of 3 of the pods, they were able to come to the conclusion that the Saiyan might be on 3 planets, 1 of 3. And the king has now just ordered his most elite forces to search the planets. A planet by the name of Earth. Yes, I just made that joke. And 2 others. Now, with that being said, these elites, they are within forces of 5 members. And their power levels each range from 20,000 to 25,000. The Saiyan King believes that these forces will actually be well needed. However, there is one little thing he is not understanding about his current situation. He is sending away his most elite warriors, the ones that not only are in charge of defending the palace, but are also in charge of repelling Saiyan forces, in case they try to take over again. Now, basically, they're trying to make sure that, in case the evil Saiyans do try and attack the palace, him, the princess, and his wife would all be safe. Now, he sends them all off, and the elites begin to make their way throughout the universe, searching the planets, each breaking up into different teams. Now, with that being said, we will cut back over to Earth. Hasashi and Inko, they are about to land. And you do have the Saiyans. Their ETA is roughly a few minutes out. However, they are picking up strange readings from the planet. Once they are able to get close enough, they have verified that the Saiyan is on Earth, radioing back and letting their squads know of exactly what's happening. Now, the elites, they are actually trying to come up with a plan. There is two of them. Basically, both of them together might be able to take down the Saiyan. But there's also a small margin that if they allow the Saiyan to basically understand that they're already here, they might be in their own heaps of trouble. They can hide their power levels, yes, but if they wait for backup, there's a better chance of them overpowering this threat and taking the man in alive. And if they do have to resort to killing him, they would at least stand better chances in greater numbers, deciding to discreetly land on the planet. Now, with that, we do pick up with the evil Saiyan. He is being bombarded with explosives and more mechanized units, along with at least a man with a cybernetic arm and different cybernetic implants. The man rushing towards this Saiyan and trying to fight at him, beginning by trying to throw back his arm and punch him across the face. Now, as soon as he's able to do that, everyone is surprised. These cybernetic implants do seem to be working better. However, you also do have the engineers, or the people who have implanted this man with the cybernetics, telling the man that he needs to make sure not to go over a certain power degree. The cybernetics, they might be at least compatible with his body, but they have not grown on him yet. The man trying to fight and give it his all, before the evil Saiyan does do one thing. He's able to just grab this man's hands out of the air before thoroughly crushing them. The man's screaming out in pain as he does fall backwards. And his cybernetic implants, they reject his body. Him being killed by them before the evil Saiyan has a chance to do anything. Him just beginning to foam at the mouth before falling over and exploding. Many different engineers all bringing up the failure. Within testing, every adult who has had a cybernetic implant, they are only able to maintain it for small degrees of time before it either needs to be taken out or at least adjusted. Now, different propositions and ideas are being thrown around. A few of them would violate, well, multiple different humanitarian codes, I believe they're called, and many others would basically, well, destroy or possibly injure quite a few people. Now, this is whenever the world governments decide that this chance, it might be the only thing left for them to do. A project is started and it is given a name. They are going to be forming the Earthling Defense Force, or the Planetary Defense Force. This force will be made up of cybernetic humans, and they will have to train their cybernetics and be accustomed to them from the very day they are gotten and gained. Now, multiple other projects are signed off of, and, well, other cybernetic candidates, they are going through more and more augmentation every day. Along with that, you also do have a small problem. Some of the candidates, you could say, they volunteered. Not all of them were full-grown adults. Now, what I mean by that is this top secret project, it was signed off of immediately, directly after the first Cybernetic Act was passed. They began a secret project to create cybernetic warriors who, Through the overextended use of time, they would eventually grow into their cybernetics. Their bodies can be adjusted to them, and they would not suffer or experience withdrawal effects. Basically, turning them more machine than human. Now, with that being said, while these candidates are going through rigorous augmentation all around the clock, we will cut to Deku. He steps foot on his home planet for the first time in, let's see, I believe he's 8.5 years old right now, so 4.5 years. Now, the place looks very different to him, and he's not too sure where they really are. Finding out that they're actually somewhere within the, well, Eurasia, or I believe it's called, or somewhere between Europe, Asia, and China, along with the many other countries in Eastern Europe. Now, with that being said, this is where you also do have the evil Saiyan. As soon as he was about to finish off or destroy another one of these robots, bringing his hand up with a large ki blast forming, he immediately looked in the other direction, let go of what he was holding on to, and began to fly that way. Many different people confused. A few people on the battlefield, watching as this threat is ignoring them. And you do have Hasashi and Inko, along with Deku. All of them begin to fly towards the power level coming towards them. Eventually, they do all meet up. Now, the evil Saiyan is quite surprised. My, and here I thought I ran out of weaklings to kill. Who are you? Who I am does not matter. It's you. You are strong, aren't you? Power level, I believe around 1000. That's disappointing. Even the yellow-haired man was stronger. Yellow-haired man? You wouldn't happen to be talking about All Might, would you? Inko goes on stating. If you're talking about the man who smiled so much, yes, I am. He died last year. First man I killed on this planet. As soon as Midoriya does hear that, he does get a bit pissed off. Before, after jumping out from behind his mother, asking exactly what did he do with them all. A child? You're joking. If you must know, kid, I killed them, slaughtered them. I turned half of that island country into a glass floor. The other half left to burn. It was fun. Best 2 days of my life. The rest of the week spent with full of screams. A lullaby. You're insane. Hasashi goes on stating. The Saiyan cocking back his fist and going to rush forwards, announcing that he's not insane. He's just doing what Saiyans should properly be doing. However, you do have Hasashi immediately bring up his hand and saying Kaioken. As soon as the Saiyan does go to punch Hasashi, Hasashi's fist immediately grabs it out of the air, and the Saiyan's face is alerted with surprise. Hasashi's red aura, along with the fact that he just caught his fist. That's not possible. How the hell did you... You're suppressing your power levels. How is that possible? It's not impossible, Hasashi says before smashing the man across his face. The man being sent flying away. as Vados does actually inform Hasashi that he should not have done that. This is Izuku's fight. The bastard killed almost everyone we know, probably. So, I'm gonna go try and check in on that country. Check in on our home country. Inko, you stay with Izuku, in case anything does happen. Now, Inko, she sort of rejects this idea. No, Hasashi, he might be a bit stronger than her. He can go up to ×4 if needed, right? But King Kai said we shouldn't. Hasashi, listen to me. If you can go up to ×4 and make sure our son can win this fight or win it yourself, let me go. You're stronger than I am. No. Listen. Hasashi, I'm not arguing with you, Inko says, turning around and flying off, before they can even continue. Now, Hasashi, a bit annoyed, does reluctantly stay, while Izuku, him and this evil Saiyan, do make eye contact. The evil Saiyan feeling the boy's power level begin to rise. And Midoriya, he does feel a little bit stronger, along with the fact that his rage is sort of giving him a bit of a boost at this one point. Now, Midoriya realizes at this moment that everyone he's ever made friends with is probably dead. And his mind is racing with emotions, as Midoriya rushes towards the evil Saiyan. Now, the world governments have been able to trace the man's flight pattern, and they are currently observing from a distance this battle, watching as the only person to ever send the Saiyan flying has now taken off in a direction, leaving 3 unknown enemies, or possible allies, along with the evil Saiyan. Now, a combat unit is dispensed after Inko to try and see exactly where she is heading to. Meanwhile, you do have Hasashi and Izuku, both left there. The evil Saiyan getting back up and actually cracking his neck. My. And here I thought your pathetic excuse of a species was weak and stupid. You shouldn't underestimate a human. Really now. And why is that? Because we're about to be destroyed. Or at least taken in. In fact, you're not even fighting me. So you're saying I'm fighting the 8-year-old? Yes. And he's going to take you down. This is a funny joke. Now, Izuku flies towards the ground. As soon as he does land, he immediately brings his hands up. The Saiyan, he doesn't expect much, until Izuku, he uses the Kaioken. As soon as the energy does begin to flow around his body and his power level does increase, the Saiyan, he actually does begin to smirk a little bit. So, there is at least humans on this planet that can come forwards and fight. It just took almost complete and utter annihilation. Now, with that being said, it is currently being broadcasted that these humans, or 2 unknown people, have stepped forwards to face the unknown Saiyan, or this unknown enemy. Now, many people all across the world are hearing that a young boy is facing off against this man. Not many have hope, until Izuku and the Saiyan do rush towards each other. And as soon as they do, both of them, as soon as their fists do collide, the shockwave sends everyone flying. And Midoriya and the man begin to go back and forth, dodging and throwing punches at each other. Now, these two are going at it for a good couple of minutes. And you also do have the Saiyans, who are currently watching the battle. They've never seen humans this strong. The fact that they're actually facing off against this evil threat shows that their species, they can be some actual worthy warriors. So, if the battle does turn, or at least go in good faith, and the man is taken down, then most likely they should intervene. Now, they do understand the fact that if they do intervene, though, the Saiyan, he could escape. So they decide to do one thing better. They go after his Saiyan pod. Now, while they are tracking that thing down, Midoriya will be facing off against the Saiyan. But I believe I can lead the battle off in the next part, since I don't want to make this video 40 minutes long. And it's already getting a bit more loud in my house. Now, I do hope you guys enjoyed.